It's the Daily Doug.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. My friends, you have arrived on a Friday. We are ending our big ladies week here on the channel, and I am doing so with a pretty great song from Nightwish. I am happy that you are along for the ride. We are featuring another one of our guest DJ picks here on the channel today. Last month, we celebrated our 1,000th episode here on the channel. We had some trivia questions, and we had 4 of our fans that answered the questions correctly, and as their prize, they won an opportunity to be a guest DJ for the day. And today, our friend David has selected An Ocean of Strange Islands from Nightwish. It comes from their latest album, Yesterwynde. I have the album out back there, and I'm really excited to dive into this one, y'all. David did give me some background information on why he chose this and what he thinks about it. He says, narratively, in this song, the ocean is life, and the islands are the people that we meet along the way. In my opinion, it's their best song since The Greatest Show on Earth. An absolute banger. There's some double kick in there, but it's tastefully used. he says, see if you can find the little Easter egg in there, which is a nod to a former bandmate. David, I will do my best. But I'm very thankful to David for bringing me back to Nightwish and to this album. Nightwish has been a longtime favorite of mine here on the channel. Our first Nightwish reaction was all the way back in episode 52. So we've been going through their music for a long time, the entire life of the channel. And today, this will be my 18th video focused on music by this band. And previously from this particular album, their latest album, I've listened to Perfume of the Timeless. That was episode 782. And then I listened to The Day of and Lantern Light in episode 854. Lantern Light concludes the album in absolutely breathtaking piece, y'all. Whereas the song that we're going to hear today, An Ocean of Strange Islands, comes near the beginning. It's the second song on the album, and we only get a short title track introductory piece before launching into this song, which is the longest song on the album at 9.5 minutes. This piece, An Ocean of Strange Islands, was the 3rd single that was released from the album, getting its own music video, and I missed it, y'all. I missed doing it on the channel at the time. It just flew right by me. And so, like I said, I'm happy that David has brought me back, not only to this song, but to this band and to this particular album. So let's get into it, shall we? We've got Tuomas Holopainen on keyboards. He is also our songwriter. Impo Vuorinen is on guitars. Floor Jansson is on lead vocals. Troy Donockley is on pipes, whistles, guitar, and percussion. Jukka Koskinen is on the bass. And Kai Hatto is on the drums and percussion. I'm going to be watching the video here, which I believe has the lyrics that are shown as we see the images and hear the song. So let's get to it. Friends, this is Nightwish with An Ocean of Strange Islands. Here we go. Minor key, me, re, do. Okay. Chromatic third change. One-man crew. D minor is a key that Tuomas really likes to go to. Big, dark, heavy key. There's two. There's what key are they in? So I hear them in D minor. Flat 2. Now they're in B flat minor. Holy crap. To be a part of your story. Wow. Another chromatic third shift, y'all. That's flat 6, flat 7, 1. Hey, hang on. That's going to be cool. I want to get back to it. I got to tell y'all something that he's doing. And I've got multiple examples of it, I believe, so far. Where were they? They were in B flat minor. They got to B flat minor. I can't even remember all the places that they've been. But okay, if you're in B flat minor and you go down to the 6th chord, there's B flat, there's the 7th, the A flat, and then the 6th is G flat. Okay, if you go flat 6, flat 7 to 1 in that key, in that minor key, the 6th scale degree is G, right? But the key that he goes to from B flat minor is G minor, not G flat. Not G flat, G, right? So he goes from there to there. And the way that he does it, I call it a chromatic third because the bass or the root is moving by a third, but it's not the third that's in the key. It's not the third that's in B flat minor's key. It's the 6th that's in B flat major's key. So it's chromatic to B flat minor, but it does share that note. The B flat is the root of that chord. It's the third of that chord. And that's how he makes that chromatic third shift. He does it by pivoting on one note. Early on, he was in F minor, and then all of a sudden to D, right? Again, he's taking that F that's in the root of that chord, or that is the root of that chord, and keeps it, and it becomes the third of that chord. Way back to my very first reaction from Nightwish with Ghost Love Score, if I'm not mistaken, it was actually those two chords, F minor and D minor, that he was going back and forth between, doing that chromatic third motion. It's a really interesting way to move off this way. It's like the circle of fifths, except it's kind of a quadrant because it outlines, I gotta go back over here to the keyboard, y'all. It outlines a diminished chord, right? If you take all minor thirds, right? He's in F minor, right? I could move by a minor third. Cool. He's in F minor. I can move by the other minor third to A flat, right? Or A flat minor, right? And keep that one inside. I can move to, I don't know, B. Yeah, woo. All sorts of fun stuff. But you can move around to all of those different minor thirds. A fully diminished 7th chord is symmetrical in that it has all minor thirds. And when he's moving that bass by a minor third, he's moving by a quarter of the circle of fifths, right? Just a quarter around the clock face. And boy, it really does work. It really does work. I need to rewind this just a little bit, friends. And then we'll keep right on trucking. Off we go. Yeah, flat 6, flat 7, 1, G minor, E minor. So again, the same move. Woo! Boy, the string writing in the orchestra is great. Cinematic. He's back. Yeah, D minor, but Phrygian, that lowered second. Woo! Flutes! Check it out! There's some wacky shit going on as our mariner is going to all of these strange islands, having these strange encounters. So they're back in G minor. Sail carefree, the water's fine, he says. Woo! Sail and seek the star-bound quay. Calling you, calling me to be a part of your story. The only thing that I wish was different, I wish Floor's voice was higher in the mix. All right. We've got a few minutes left, y'all. They've gotten through all of the lyrics. Major? Another chromatic third. D major. B flat minor. Or B flat major, I should say. Yeah. So you don't have to start with the minor chord. You can start with the major chord and do the same thing. Yeah, I got that wrong. C minor to D major. A minor. Eh. I now hear that as 6. And that is 7. If we're going to the minor key. And an open voicing at the end. They're such a fun band to listen to, aren't they? They always challenge you. Tuomas is always challenging me. Like I said, y'all, the only thing that I wish was different was that I wish that the vocals were a little bit higher in the mix, especially when everything is going. It seemed like the instruments were just a hair overshadowing the soaring vocals. Other than that, I don't know. David, I didn't necessarily find an Easter egg, but that lifts up a former bandmate. But what I did hear was a whole lot of Tuomas using that mechanism of that chromatic third move that I've heard many times in his songwriting. It's something that he seems to love going back to. It's almost like an instant key change, y'all, because the chords that he's going to, the two chords, do not share the same key. So we're in one, and when we go to the other, it's like we're in a completely different key, but he's using them like they're in the same key, which makes it a little more exotic and a little more kind of head-turning. You know, you get a little bit off kilter, a little bit. And it makes for, I think, an appropriate bit of music making, especially for what they're talking about in this particular song. As we start out, verse 1, a mariner. So we've got a person on a boat, right? A mariner under a sky moonlit on an island of a crewless ship, a few decades of immortality ahead. So he's going on a few decades cruise, trek, voyage. A one-man crew for a one-way trip. Islands, islands everywhere. And as David told us here, he says the ocean is the metaphor for life, and the islands are the people that we meet along the way. And they call them strange islands. Well, they're strange to you. But it really does hit home as a metaphor for life's journey, I think. It really does work well. The thing that they said a couple of times that I don't know if I've ever heard this word before, they're drawn to this starbound quay, Q-U-A-Y. In the chorus, they say this. How many times do they say this? I see it twice. Sail and seek the starbound quay, Q-U-A-Y, calling you, calling me to be a part of your story on these strange islands. So what is a starbound quay? I looked up the word quay. I didn't see much that helped me, but what I think is that they're talking about this goal, this optimistic goal, this calling or a purpose, a reason, something to strive for, something like that, right? And this idea throughout, like by the time we get to the end, it really is the journey, the experiences along the journey in search of that quay that becomes the experiences of your life, the experiences that you remember, the experiences that make you you, and that make you your own particular brand of strange, you know? And this idea of the journey being the destination, this is a theme that we've explored in previous songs. The one that comes to mind immediately is Octavarium from Dream Theater, one of my favorites, from them especially. In this instance, each island is a symbol for a life experience. All of these things, islanders, villagers, universal mariners, calling me, guiding me, monsters far beneath, hurricanes on the way, lunatic weather vanes, shipwrecked lovers on a faraway quay, passing by butterflies fluttering for a day, jokers, jesters, goddesses, deep, delicious blue beneath. All of these tempests, these islands that he's made himself, that he's happened upon his journey. Each one of those is a symbol, a metaphor for a life experience. And some of them can be reminded or can remind us of people we've known our whole lives, people we're very familiar with, our friends, our family, or it can be a chance encounter that turns out to be really memorable or impactful. Maybe it's just something that's fleeting, but it was something odd that happened on your day, and it's a memory that sticks in there, you know? I've heard the song. This is not the first time that I've heard it. I'm lucky enough to have the vinyl. When the vinyl came out, when I got it, I did listen to the entire thing. And like I said, this is the second song on the album. So I heard it, but I haven't listened to this album very often, y'all. So I've heard it maybe a couple times. And it's been several months since I have heard it. And like I said, when the single came out, for some reason I was doing other things and I didn't get to it. So thanks to David for making sure that I got back to this wonderful piece by Nightwish. And I'm happy to have included it. We've been listening, friends, to an ocean of strange islands suggested to us by our friend David. Thank you, David, and thank you, Nightwish, for your music, and thanks to all of y'all for being with me this week and for all of these videos. I very much appreciate your support and you hanging out with me as we explore all of this great music. That's going to be all for me today and this week, my friends. I thank you very much for being with me, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.
It's the Daily Doug. Welcome to the Daily Doug. The Daily